Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. It's so good to be back. I hope everyone's ready to cry.
I'm ready to play. We'll see if I cry. Kay had a phone call. She should be back shortly.
Oh, that's fine.
So is it going to be tears of joy or shame?
Yes. Let's see here. Now that I've undeafened, we also will do... Where did it go? Did it bring it over? Oh, I brought it over here, that's why. Not that y'all need the music per se, but it's there.
It's nice to have music.
Mm-hmm. Oh, weird. Did it flip over to the... Can you still hear it even though it flipped over to the Roll20? That's interesting.
Yep.
Neat. Open the TikTok thingy twice too. Close that one. Yeah, it doesn't need to be up, just for the ambiance. There we go. Now it's actually on the screen for our audience to see. I have the book open. Am I missing anything else? I have my secret tabs that y'all can't see for secrets and secret tunnels. Need to find an evil Clippy though. Like a really evil Clippy.
I mean, I sent you that one.
You did send me that one.
Oh, wait. I got you a new one. Yeah, you can make your own Clippies.
Now I can make my own Clippies? Oh, you know what? Actually, that is perfect. Thank you. I'm gonna utilize this for evil means. Evil propane and propane accessories.
Yeah. So the problem with making chainmail links is when you let go of the coil, it likes to swing back and smack your hand.
Yeah.
Does it involve pie?
No. It's for the Clippy art.
Okay.
Okay, I am off the phone.
Okay, welcome back.
He says hello.
Who's he?
My father.
Oh, hi, Dad.
Yeah.
I wasn't here for who you left for, so it was like, and who is he? Hello.
You were here, but I don't think you were like.
I was deaf and still setting up.
Yeah.
So okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. I think you have had us say hi to your dad once before. So hi, Dad.
Probably. Yeah. He likes calling, so.
Well, that's good. Parents should.
Well,
check in on
I
their
call
children.
him. I call him at work. too. So
Yeah, no, that's fine.
so like if I'm walking home from not home, but if I'm walking from what's the word? To the parking lot from work,
Mm-hmm.
because the parking lot's down the street.
Yeah.
I'll give him a call, and I called him today. He didn't answer, so he called me back.
Standable. All right.
That's
Why is this not? There we go. That's what I was looking for. Okay. So then I want to save this. We're more or less ready. I'm just like tweaking some stuff while you were getting wrapped up. So who wants to do the recap of last session?
I could do my July recap.
That's always fine too.
Let's see. I have. Obviously this part, some of the stuff July doesn't know, but, so it kind of switches between July's point of view and talking in third person about July, but I sleep, but Joe learns that Rindis is a time traveler. Harvey is here, comes up the elevator, woot! July is coming down from her high after sleeping for a couple minutes. She still feels high, but is a little more cognitive, less tired, slightly agitated. Rindis brings me an orange and water to talk about me. To talk to me, but honestly... Wait. Rindis brings me an orange and water to talk to me about honesty, ? And then in all caps, she steals my orange slice! She shows me a necklace with a ruby and sapphire on it, then gives me a notebook ? That I shouldn't read ? She's being weird, saying shit like that. Saying shit like that we knew each other, and that she's happy to see me again ? July tries to leave her the notebook, but she doesn't let her. It stays on the table. July stays there, staring down at the table, not eating or drinking anything, trying to process it all. After a bit, she looks for alcohol in the kitchen. Joe and July are in the kitchen. She tries to drink diluted hand sanitizer, but Joe stops her. They chat a bit before that, though, and about what Rindis said earlier to her. Not specifically mentioning her, but it was kind of obvious. In quotation marks, Clippy wants out and connected to the network. In quotation marks. Oh, this is what Ashley said. And then in quotation marks, not as dangerous as the machine god. And then Clippy wants a knife. Will he use it for good or bad? Rindis is here. Ashley wants to talk to her in private. She takes the Neurocaster and guitar. And then that's all I have written down.
Anybody else? I love these
That
recaps.
That was actually pretty good, and I love the energy she has with it.
Yeah, I try and write it like she's writing them, so.
Please tell me you're like the high person with the notebook.
Jay,
Just like
Ash,
writes down everything.
Jay, Dougler, anything to add?
Not really. I just call the Neurocaster the old Beatty's Neurocaster, so...
Well, Harvey did a lot of help with trying to make sure that Ashley wasn't particularly in any danger with the Neurocaster.
Mm-hmm. Remember how helpful that was.
Yeah, I know.
Immensely.
Oh, and then the what Joe has is they were locked out of the Neurocaster.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. That did happen too.
Yes, ma'am.
Haha, Harvey came inside. Ayo.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think everything. Oh, the music just did a weird note in one headphone. Oh. It's like when you hear it in just one ear, and you're just like, "The hell is that?"
Yep.
So I think we return to the bunker. The sandstorm is still raging above them, but being several stories underground, it's not very noticeable. But it's a period of time that would be late in the evening, late enough for you all to settle in. There are barracks where you all could have comfortable little roll-out futon, cot-y kind of beds. Comfortable for a short duration. It doesn't seem like you would be very, happy living here permanently with these thin mattresses and, thin blankets, but being stuck here for a night, it's probably much better than sleeping in the car during the dust storm that would have had you all trapped otherwise. I suppose an important question to ask everybody is there anything different about your nightly routine tonight than it would be normally?
I don't get high to fall asleep.
I think Joe's nightly routine's still pretty much the same. Brush teeth, doodle and sketchbook to relax.
And that's an important caveat as well. Unlike most nights, unless you all stop at like a motel or something, this is a place where you have fresh running water and access to a hot shower where you're not on like a time crunch. You can take the long 30-minute shower here for some strange reason. Even though it's like a government facility bunker, there's enough hot water to allow for taking a bit of luxury tonight and getting comfortable.
July definitely takes a long hot shower and probably doesn't go to sleep until very, very early in the morning.
Well, everyone else is doing their evening routines. I mean, I'm going to continue doing the clear out all my nice little gears, make sure that that's all good. However, I am going to see about thinking about the area, because she said that this facility itself is kind of just much smaller, but the surrounding area is much kind of bigger. So is there like a map that I can kind of go before I shut off?
You want to dig through some computers?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I think that's fine. This would be something that would require a roll because this is something that might have consequences. There's a level of afforded trust here because the doctor seems to know two of your companions and has afforded you the ability to kind of wander freely. It's still not a very large facility, but the scientists have all retired for the night as well. There are little like wall-mounted security cameras connected to CCTV and things like that, but it doesn't seem like it's watching for any wrongdoing, more just a basic level of security. But when you get back to that main that main section of this facility where the large computer database is, it wouldn't be hard for Harvey to get into the system, but please, since this might be a bit important depending on the outcome, give me a roll to hack into the system.
Can July follow?
If she wants.
Just
if Harvey
curiously.
allows it.
She just has like an earphone in and it's just
Yeah, I'm not
listening to
really
you
paying attention,
wandering
so that's
with
really
them.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more focused on my task at hand because I want to know the surrounding area.
What you doing?
Ooh,
3 successes.
and 3 failures.
Would you like to push?
Let's see here. Now, those 3 successes and 3 failures, what does that do?
So, we had kind of discussed it off screen afterwards. So, I feel like the original ruling on cancellation is going to be reneged, and it'll be back to kind of the way this system had always done it, where it's only successes that matter. I feel it kind of lowers stakes, but it also gives more weight to your guys' dice pools, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I think I kind of like that. I mean, with the 3 successes, I mean, I can get the information I want. Because you said that the this government facility itself is powered up, but everything around it, even though it is looking like a city and everything, I just want to know the surrounding area of everything that's going on.
And thankfully for you, the amount of successes you have is enough to get into the system, because this was not an easy task. When you start digging through, in the instant that July asks what you're doing, because you're interfaced into the network, you have all of your information in the fraction of milliseconds that it takes for the last syllables of her word to go through. So it's not like too much time is passing between her question and you receiving this information, because like all things with technology, especially digitally, you are receiving it in an instant, and you can pretty quickly process it from your drone side of things, but your human side might need a moment to go through everything. But for the moment, you have access to a few files, including the one you were specifically looking for. The schematics of the facility show that the town above is very much just a shell. It's a dummy layout to mask this facility and what it's meant to be. It is part of a corporation called Rexignery, that is what ended up taking control of the Loop Foundation following its collapse 2 years prior. Rexignery is part of I want to say the European Union existed in the 90s, so bear with me here if I'm speaking out of turn, and if didn't, it does exist now in this alternate 90s. The European Union's basically equivalent of the Loop Foundation had acquired the American assets and had attempted to conduct the cleanup and reallocation of destroyed assets following the catastrophic failure of the Loop Foundation within the town of Stillwater. The resulting disaster had led to it had resulted in an environmental disaster where the super collider that was housed within the facility had collapsed, and something had caused this blackish water to flood the town, and contact with the water had largely resulted in unknown illnesses at the time and eventual death depending on the level of exposure you received. The purpose of the facility is not made clear in the immediate files that you have access to, but you do see that there are 2 other files in here, one of which is just an MP4, and it's titled T_party, and there's another file that is just labeled nowhere.
Well, that's actually spooked my interest, so I'm actually going to be heading in that, because that's making the world a better place.
Making the world a better place. Building better futures tomorrow.
Indeed. So what can I dig in with those new files?
Wait, is MP4s are audio files, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or a video.
Does it work for video too? Okay, I want to make sure I wasn't misspeaking
Yeah.
on that because I'm like, oh god, these old files I have to remember. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they were pretty new because we had
MP3
we did have
is
the
only audio.
JPEGs for the for like pictures, but it wasn't actually as popular as you might have thought.
Hmm. Well, I also
Yeah,
thought
no,
of, I also thought
MP3
of
like
Dot
shares
Mauve
that.
shortly after saying it, which was the movie files, or you could do MLV or it doesn't matter. Anyways, there's a text file and a video file. So you are interested in the text file labeled nowhere.
Yes.
You see that file is password protected. And while you can see that it exists, you do not have immediate access to it.
I want access to it.
You want access to it.
Where's Clippy?
That's what?
Clippy would still be within the Neurocaster.
Yes, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna dig through. I've got an interest.
Okay. Well, I think with nothing really to go on, you wouldn't be able to brute force a password out of this. However, the mention of Clippy does give you an idea. You could get Clippy's help if you were able to get your hands on the Neurocaster.
I could.
Mm-hmm. And it's about this time that July's question would register that she had asked you something.
Oh, just checking the surrounding areas, seeing if there's anything of value.
Wouldn't you need a window for that?
There are other ways to find information.
Oh. Anything I can help with?
Do you want to try to learn a little bit about computers?
I'm not the best with learning, but sure. Nothing else to do right now, and I'm wide awake.
You just kick it and it turns on, right?
Basically. Does it work like a vending machine where if you can't get it, you just gotta shake it?
Sometimes.
If you're really misbehaved, just throw it with a hammer.
Fun fact, the only reason that worked on like
Shay.
older
You're
television...
roboting.
Oh,
Yeah.
Test.
You're roboting.
The robot.
that's static.
I'll pop out
Yeah,
in
it's more like a static and then
Yeah.
a...
Your
instead of a-
mic is picking up a static when you talk.
Okay, how about now?
Very good.
Ah, better.
Much
Much
better.
Much better.
Alright, but fun fact, the only reason that worked for like older TVs were because they had little tubes in them that you jostle back in place. It doesn't work on anything newer.
Mm-hmm.
Also worked on the original Xbox to get the tray open.
Now,
Is
is there...
Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I kind of interrupted it because I had a random thought. Which is my bad. I was kind of curious if there's actually a keyboard and a monitor that July could actually work on.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, Bobo,
It's
what'd
the
you
ni-
ask me, sir?
It's the 90s, you see. Everything is analog. Even the horror.
That's true. Well,
What'd
she
you
can
ask?
click. I was going to have you kind of go onto the computer itself and look at the other file.
Oh, sure. Can
If
you
I could
open it
just.
for me?
That's what I was going to try to do.
Drag and drop.
Cool. She sits down on, if there's a chair in front of the computer, and still has one earbud in. And she's like listening to some music. Or I guess she has like a headphone
I was
thing,
like,
but
what's an
one
earbud?
no, but
Yeah, I
like the
know.
headset, the like cheap little like dollar store headset, and but
Mhm.
there's like one behind her ear that she like pushed back so she can hear.
Yes. Much more 90s.
Yes. She's got a little Walkman.
Mhm. That's very believable. You could even have a Discman if you wanted.
Ayo. Nah, whichever one is least expensive she would have. She probably stole it from someone.
Probably traded it. So with Harvey's help, he's able to drag the mouse across the screen. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs joke. He double clicks the file.
Ooh.
It opens up, and like another little window opens up for this this MP4 player, and it shows a first-person camera perspective of somebody holding a camera at a house during a party, and you can hear the sounds of music, very familiar sounding rock music.
Hey, just like dancing along with it.
Yeah, you can hear the sounds of very familiar sounding music, and this camera moving through the crowd of people that look rather young. They look like maybe high schoolers, and as it's passing through the area, you see a few things that kind of stand out really strange. There's a obvious robot dressed as a Viking doing an upside down keg stand with a bunch of people cheering for him. And then there is another instance of a short, dirty blonde-haired girl and a much taller black girl with a very large untamed afro making out at a staircase, and then the camera turning around to show that there's another girl holding the camera. She has short blonde hair and these cool looking sunglasses and a hat, and she kind of like wiggles her eyebrows and brushes her tongue across her upper lip as she kind of cheers on the two making out. And she watches that for a moment before it moves on, and at the sound of "oh shit, the cops," the music's cut short and everybody starts to scatter, and you see the camera woman open a door and run downstairs into a basement before it kind of goes staticky and cuts out.
Well, that seemed like a baller party.
I mean, you gotta fight for your right to party.
Exactly. I like where you're coming from, sir.
Any
I don't get why this is on a government computer. It's just a party.
Teenage Wasteland?
'Cause I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. That might be later than this time, but it's fine. But still, why would it be on a government computer?
I do not know.
I can go ask.
Probably a good idea.
Oh, cool. I'll just go wake someone up.
Who are you going to wake up?
Horrendous.
Okay, you head off to go find Rindis. I haven't heard anything from Shay yet, so what is Ashley doing before we cut to that?
After Ashley,
Also, hold on one sec. This music's getting real intense, and I need to turn it down. Sorry, I just kind of picked up on... There you go. Go ahead.
No worries. I feel like after Ashley takes her shower, she's carrying her pack and just kind of like, still has like an oversized t-shirt on and everything. Her hair's still damp because it's really long, takes a while to dry. But I feel like she kind of like sets her bag down by the we got a shot of her just kind of like walking through the hallways, and it just sets her back down in front of the door and kind of knocks on Rindis's room, office, whatever.
Oh, everybody's going to the room tonight.
Well, I had this planned before
No,
everybody to say
you're
yeah.
fine. You're fine. I don't mind it. Yeah. So, hold on. I have to think of what I want this to be. July.
Yes.
I need you to roll something for me.
Okay.
This is the equivalent of a coin flip, okay? So I want you to do /R 1d2 in Roll20.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, oh, okay. I wanted to say odds, but that's perfect. Okay. That's gonna tell me everything I needed to know. Ashley knocks on the door, and it takes a moment, but once the door unlocks, and because it's a cool futuristic scientific facility, it doesn't swing in, but it slides into the wall to open, and Rindis is dressed in a very sexy lingerie and negligee that's pretty sheer and see-through, and she kind of leans up against the door frame, and she's like, I was wondering when you would get... Oh, and she realizes that it's not who she was expecting, but it's Ashley, and she kind of quickly covers herself and is just like, hello? Hi, Ashley. It's good to see you again tonight.
Yeah, hi. And then there's just like this very obvious moment of Ashley kind of like reaching up and kind of like rubbing the side of her head before going, you said you weren't expecting me. Who else are you expecting?
And she kind of rubs the back of her head and is just, that is, I say, a bit complicated. You kind of peek past her, you see that
There's no before she even goes on from there. I'm just like, when has that ever stopped you?
Touché. Why don't you come inside? It's already past the point of awkwardness, huh?
Yeah. I grab my pack and just like step inside real quick. Actually, I kind of wanted to, I guess, apologize.
For what? What are you apologizing for?
For the way I left.
Oh. It is no problem. You had your own things going on. I had my own things happening as well. We are both adults, and sometimes people grow apart. It is the very nature of being human, no?
Well, I never liked losing anyone. Ever. So, and I know it probably comes as no surprise. I I loved William. I loved you. I've loved others. And
And you will continue to love. It is, as I said before, what it means to be human.
goodness, I was a shit person when I was younger.
Who is not a shit person? You do not have to apologize for being a child, being a teenager. It is not. She pauses and thinks for a moment. She says, if I knew what I knew now, and had the means to know what I know now then, you don't think I would have done things very differently? You don't think that there are things that have happened that I don't regret, that I do not wish could be changed? Some things in life and in time are fixed points. They cannot be changed. They cannot be rewritten.
You offered me a chance to move on with my life, and I was so angry then. I just couldn't, and it was bad for everyone. And it still haunts me. And it never really mattered if it was someone walking away or someone dying or going missing. Everybody I knew is gone. Almost everyone. It's like everyone in my life leaves. And that's why I always hated heroes. But I never should have. I guess what I'm saying is I understand things better now. And even if we've grown apart, I just wanted to let you know that I still care deeply for you, and that love's never going anywhere. And it's the same with everybody else.
I understand that. She puts a hand on your shoulder and smiles and says, "You're going to be all right, Ashley. At the end of all of this, you are going to be all right. And I know it's going to be hard, and I know that you are going to hate it. But I promise you, at the end, it will be what you hoped for, and you will be happy. I promise.
And I'll stand up and just kind of wrap my arms around Rindis and just give her a hug. Well, whoever it is that you're waiting for, you have all my best wishes.
And then there's a knock on the door.
And I think that's my cue. And I grab my bag.
Knock, knock.
And then when the door opens, I turn around and I look at Rindis and tilt my head like, really?
She just kind of shrugs.
Am I
There's
interrupting something?
there's like a response shrug and then just kind of walking around July. Nope. Enjoy.
Okay.
Rindis took this opportunity to grab something a little more appropriate, which, of course, is just a lab coat that she puts over to try and hide the more alluring outfit underneath. And she says, I was expecting you to come here, but honestly, I was a bit caught off guard by Ashley eating here first.
Okay.
I'm glad I can still throw off a time traveler.
Exactly. It's weird, right? It's almost like these things can be nudged gently.
Well, Harvey and I were looking at stuff on a computer downstairs, and I have a few questions.
Questions?
Yeah.
She.
I wouldn't recommend bringing Harvey into this. Just enjoy yourselves, and I just round the corner and I'm gone.
What? The fuck is up with her?
There is like soft romantic jazz playing, and Brenda's just kind of shrugs. She's like, I don't know.
The funny thing is, July still is listening to her own music.
Mhm.
It's just she probably like only half notices.
Why don't you tell me about what you were looking at?
Well, we look at this pretty rockin' fucking party video, and I just don't know why that would be here.
Were you all looking on the terminal?
I don't know what that is. We were,
The computer in the main office.
yes.
She kind of crosses her arms under her chest and gives the mom look for a moment.
What?
You could have just asked if you wanted to use...
I just followed Harvey. And then I asked him what he was doing. And then he had me look at this video.
Harvey could have just asked if he wanted to look at it.
Oh, well, he does, so.
Yeah, it's no matter. The video in question is something that does not belong to this timeline. It's the reason it is kept on file for my own record keeping and being able to figure out what might need adjusting within this timeline.
What the fuck do you mean timeline?
That is part of my research. I am trying to make sure that this timeline does not deviate too far away from the primed one.
Huh?
I am trying to make sure that your future is what it is supposed to be.
You're not making any sense.
I am trying.
Do you just want to explain it to someone that would understand?
She walks over to her little cot bed and sits down and says, I wish there was enough time to explain, but the short version, and she pats the space beside her for you to join her if you wanted,
Yeah.
or as short as
She
I
still
can,
has her backpack on her shoulder.
as short as I can.
Things always on her. Sorry.
You're fine. As short as I can make it, and as simple as I can make it. People who say the future is not yet written has not witnessed the future from the perspective of someone who travels through time. My experiments when I worked for the Loop Foundation, while initially revolved around studying exotic creatures and beings that are not meant for this world, I also specialized in time and space dilation, or distortions in time. Your friend Ashley, I have known her for a very long time, and I have helped her once before in the past because she had been stuck in... Do you know Bill Murray? And she kind of just perks up for a second. Do you know the actor, Bill Murray? Ghostbusters,
No.
Caddyshack.
No.
Trying to think of what other 80s movies he was in without going too far ahead of the timeline.
Stripes.
The Stripes? Ghostbusters 2?
The only TVs that I had access to were the ones that are in store windows.
She kind of just frowns for a moment. It's going to be... realizing that it's going to be much harder explaining this to somebody who's not seen movies.
I mean, I've seen, like, the occasional where I've, like, snuck in to a movie theater. But that was usually followed by other things that then made me not remember.
Do you know Deja Vu?
Yeah.
I had helped your friend Ashley once upon a time when she was experiencing Deja Vu.
But then that usually led into other stuff that caused me to not remember.
Oui, it was the same for her as well.
I was making a joke, you dumbass.
I know what you were making, but I was trying to explain it in a way that you would follow.
No, I know. Never mind. You were supposed to be like, didn't you say that before? And I was gonna be like, deja vu. Ha ha ha. Get it?
I have heard this joke before. You'll have to forgive me. And she does laugh and kind of smiles endearingly at it. She says, she was stuck. She was running around a football track that was time. Whenever she got to the end of that track, she found herself back at the start. And she was...
Oh, if she was going in a circle, that would make sense.
Yes. But time is not meant to work in a circle. Time is supposed to move forward like a road. And she was stuck on the roundabout. And she was able to help her and her friends get out of that loop-de-loop so that they could get back onto the proper road.
Cool. Does that... I'm not connecting the dots. I mean, I am.
It's not going to make sense to you now, but it will later on. And I know that you hate that I am being cryptic, but there are things that I can't tell you.
Okay. So, the video.
The video is one of those
Yeah.
fixed points in time. It is a anchor. Something that marks where time cannot be changed.
Hmm.
No matter what happens in any iteration of time, whether it is looping, whether it is branching off, whether it is trying to navigate around it, it cannot move past it without going through it. It is a fixed point. And
So the robot dressed up like a Viking doing a keg stand, girls making out, cops come in, that type of shit, just like no matter where you are, it's always gonna happen.
it will always happen, exactly as it was. When you move past that point, time becomes much more malleable.
When was that point?
Before the accident in Stillwater.
I don't know what the accident in Stillwater was. What was that?
And she unfortunately goes into a very, very long explanation of this environmental disaster. And what was explained before is explained again, for the sake of brevity. And she says, At the end of the day, what you need to understand is that I use this point for reference. The contents of it are important, but the substance within it are not so much. Those moments were important to those people are important to people you know. It is strangely coincidental that you are traveling with two people who have such a distinct connection to Stillwater. Two people who have helped me, and I have helped them in the past. It is coincidental that you are here. Well, it's not coincidental. It is, it will seem coincidental that you are here when you are at this point with these people. In time, it will make sense why you are here, and why they are with you, and what all this will mean when it is over. But those are things that I cannot explain to you right now.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry?
Thanks.
Oh, okay.
She looks confused.
I definitely misheard that, so I had to have clarification. Okay.
Same here.
She frowns a bit and says, There is so much I want to tell you, July. So much that I wish I had time to tell you.
I mean, we're gonna be here until the end of the storm.
Yeah, we will. And she kind of... That same soft smile crosses her face and says, We will. We will be here until the end of the storm.
Might I interject a moment?
Of course.
Just for the atmosphere, wherever there's like a PA system or something that can transmit sound, I feel like Ashley would have gone to with her instruments, her bag, and starts playing music over just so everybody in the facility can hear. And I just learned that I could do this last week, but she's going to play this music in the hopes of bringing everyone's hopes up. The mechanic Hope.
Mm-hmm.
And because I know a lot of everybody lost a lot. And I feel like what might be appropriate I want I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between two songs that start playing. One being Don't Stop Believing and the other being Separate Ways.
Oh, I love Separate Ways.
I was going Will in the Sky.
Someday love will find you. Break those chains
Things
that
that
bind
bind
you.
you.
What's
One
it
night
called? What's
with
it called? What's it
Will.
called?
Remind you
Separate Ways by Journey.
how we
1983.
touched and went our separate ways.
True love,
Hurts you. True
true
love
love
won't
won't
desert
desert
you.
you. You
I still
still
love
love you.
you.
Though we touched
and
and
went
went
our
our separate ways.
It's a good ass song, broski.
It is. Let's see. I want a cover or at least an instrumental. There we go. Good quality. Somehow she gets that synth keyboard in there too.
Somehow.
Somehow.
I feel
some
like
way.
it's just like a little melancholic version of it.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit more instrumental and definitely a softer voice.
Oh wait, hold on.
Acoustic instrumental. There
Yeah, I was
you
gonna
go.
say acoustic might work. Piano.
Fingerstyle guitar.
Let's see if this works. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Set that baby on loop.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. So that starts playing over the PA system.
I'm hearing like 3 different songs right now.
How?
Not July is.
Gotcha. Yeah, you have to
she'll turn off her freaking thing.
Rindis will also just kind of take the little remote and push so that the jazz stops playing too. She's like, oh, I love this song. I lost what they were talking about over this.
They'll be here until the end of the storm.
Right.
July's trying to get her to talk more because they'll be here all night, basically.
I just felt like this was the appropriate time for that music to come on.
I agree.
So she's doing that. Can I just be doing more on the environmental research that they've been doing?
Might I also suggest that Ashley is a bit busy playing a guitar if you wanted to go steal the Neurocaster? Cough.
Yes.
Please don't.
Please do.
I am
If you tell me
suggesting.
not to,
I am
I'm going
suggesting.
to do it.
I am suggesting, but I can't force you.
I have a gun.
That's a gun.
I have a knife.
I have a Hulk.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take the Neurocaster.
All right. Is this a contested roll?
I don't know. You kind of snuck over to a place where you could play this music over the PA system. So I don't think it'll be where you left the Neurocaster.
It's true.
I made a point to point out that I was carrying that shit with me everywhere I went.
Fair enough.
She did. She said it was in her bag.
Would the two of you like to discuss using the Neurocaster again instead of trying to steal it from her person? Because that would be a lot harder.
Well, I mean, I think I'm just going to kind of like reach for the bag that it's actually in.
Okay.
And then if she kind of turns to me, then I'll talk to her.
If this is a roleplay scene, then I will.
Yeah.
Just like at the
Roleplay it
appropriate time. And then I look up.
Roleplay it out.
Yeah, so I need this for a moment.
No. Why? What?
I'm looking to gather more information on our current whereabouts, and I figure I could use assistance.
And you thought of taking my bag instead of asking me?
I mean, it's just an object.
That object is tied very closely to my past and my future, I would hope.
I mean, we did just make a friend that could possibly assist me with my task at hand.
I'm not sure. Do you even... Are you... I get that you're very analytical, but you don't seem to be picking up on being able to read people if you're just going to consider anything that could potentially go wrong. Wait a minute. Say that again.
I mean, this is just gonna help me over my task at hand. I think
No.
This.
The other thing after that. Friend, and I pat him on the shoulder. That gives me an idea. You know how you seem to be trying to help people?
To an extent, I mean...
Yes or
people
no
are
question.
squishy.
No. Yes or no
Yes.
question. Yes. that. That is dynamic empathy. If you're a machine, it's a little bit different because you have to. Well, no, I guess it's not that different. For people who grow up with it, it's significantly easier. For a machine, like some that I know, they developed it on their own after interacting with people. Clippy wasn't exposed probably to anyone else other than Sunshine. Which means it still has the potential to learn.
Which seems perfect for the task at hand.
What task at hand?
Well, I mean, the facility that we're in is doing a lot of interesting things. I mean, this facility is just the facility itself. The outer area is really just a way to hide it. But they are doing environmental stuff, so you can learn about the environment.
While I'm in agreement with your interest in learning about the area, I don't think you want to jump the gun and let out something that could potentially backfire with such devastation.
I mean, it could be a positive.
It could be a positive. That's what I'm getting at. But it needs a human mind to study, to learn from.
Which I think is perfectly fine. It can learn from me.
Are you human?
Enough.
No. Okay, are you... Are you a machine or a person? Or human?
I'm going to say once.
That doesn't make sense.
I once was a person.
Okay. Cyborg?
Oh. Let's just say my mind is somewhere else most of the time.
Ah. Well. How about this? After we rest, I want to come at this again. We can speak to Clippy, and we can see about making a deal that is going to benefit all of us. But I think if we can convince Clippy to be an ally, then we can both get access to... I can get access to making this device my own, and you can get your chance to study the area. Hang on a sec. If you're so curious about this area, have you considered just asking Rindus?
I mean, I just figure I can do a lot of things myself, and it's actually how do we make the world a better place.
I think I understand that mentality a bit better than than I originally let on.
So you agree with me?
To an extent. Last time I tried, it backfired.
It backfired for a lot of people.
It sure did.
That's why we're in this mess together.
But I'm starting to think that if I don't start trusting my abilities, our abilities, we'll never get anywhere again.
See, that's the thing, is I know what I can do.
I know what you can do too. But doing it and expecting only what we expect are two different things.
I mean, the human factor does kind of muck things up a lot.
No, it's not the human factor. It's not just the human factor. It's part of it. But
I mean, do we not end up in this mess because people wanted to do what they wanted to do? They screwed it up for everybody.
when Sunshine stole my tech and the blueprints for my Oni network, something else was made. But unlike the Oni network that I had programmed and learned from me and my team, this one learned from other more ambitious, less empathetic people. And now we have the machine god.
Which is not a bad god.
No, it's a bad god. It's...
Machines make everything more efficient.
So you do know who the machine god is, right? I'm... Actually, never mind.
I'm partially trolling you.
Oh. Okay. So you are aware that the machine god is purposely enslaving humans and machines, right?
Why, yes. I mean, machines make everything more efficient.
So if you ever get caught, doesn't matter where your mind is, if you get caught, the machine god would take you too. Just be careful not to let that happen.
True.
But as far as your request goes, let's work on this together. And don't go behind my back, okay? And I extend a hand.
Fair enough.
And we shake.
And now we cut to somebody who's been quiet most of the night. Joe. Hi. What has Joe been up to?
I think she went to see Renda.
God damn it. You know what? That checks out. You know, everybody's doing it. It's the cool thing.
I mean, they might be doing it. I mean, there are 3 of them in there now.
Exactly. You know, it's not the first time. It's fine.
I'm just imagining. Knock in, they're like, I don't know, I'm here.
I don't
Just
know why
felt like
I'm here.
It just felt like I should be here for some reason. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So Joe actually would have just been in the room with the cots. It's having had her shower and just kind of detangling her really curly hair that just, whenever it gets wet, turns into ringlets. Like, god damn, that's annoying. Not talking for us to finish or anything.
I think while you're doing that, there's a moment where you feel something making biscuits at your back.
She's gonna turn, kind of reaching behind her, start petting it, like, hello.
There's a black cat that you reach over and grab, and it allows you to lift it up and bring it to the front. And there's a little white dot on its forehead. And it looks at you for a moment, just kind of peers into your soul.
Well, isn't it good to see you again?
Meow.
She kind of starts to scratch around his neck.
Purrs and allows. Neck kind of curls and leans into the hand, and it takes a moment where its eyes close and nuzzles into the hand, and then the lights kind of flicker in the room for a moment, and when the lights flicker back on, the cat is still there, but in its mouth it's holding a, what's the word, kind of like a it's a hat, and it has like the multicolor holographic tint to it, but the hat is like really beat up, and it looks like it had been kind of damaged or sliced, and there's a few droplets of ruddy reddish brown on the interior brim.
Joe's gonna take the hat with the non-petting hand and it's kind of shaking, like, where did you get this?
Wow.
Well, I realize it's not from here. Somewhere else isn't quite an answer. Does Joe actually recognize the hat, or just has the feeling of it?
It looks familiar. Something about the hat feels familiar. It feels comforting, but there's also a sense of sadness and loss associated to it.
She's gonna just hold the hat to her chest. Like, what happened to you? I know you should be here, but what happened to you? Joe feels her eyes turn to water. Or as she holds the hat, feels the comfort and the sadness coming from it. She knows she hasn't seen it this life. but she knows it's important. That makes it hurt so much more.
The cat straightens up for a moment, and with a single paw, it reaches up and it boops you right in the nose. And when it boops you in the nose, you have a sense that you might need to get up and go find the others.
Joe's gonna grab a pair of pants and pull them on because she just had her shirt on at the moment. Do you want to come with, buddy?
The cat just kind of sits on the bed and starts to groom itself. It doesn't look like it wants to move.
Okay, Mr. Banks. I'll see you later. She leaves the room. Takes a moment before she realized she said the name, but it's not like what the name was.
The lights would flicker again. The lights would stay off for a moment. In the darkness, you'd see a pair of yellow eyes, and then another pair of yellow eyes, and then another pair of yellow eyes, and then another pair of yellow eyes, all kind of congregated in the same area. And two names would go through your mind, but one that's easy enough to associate as Binks would be there, and then the lights would flicker back on and the cat would be gone. And you're holding the hat still, and on the interior where you had noticed the stains, if you kind of move your fingers across the upper lip seam of those baseball caps, you can kind of pull it down and you see that there's something written in Sharpie in there too, and it just kind of says J+T in a heart.
Oh, bunny tea. Joe's gonna start walking faster, just... She doesn't know where anyone is currently, fuck.
Then you hear the guitar music that had been playing over the intercom, and you kind of get the feeling that you could follow it.
Joe's gonna follow the music.
Alright, so now three of you are together in the main corridor around this computer. But Ashley had made the suggestion of asking Rindis. So now that Joe has walked in, you find Joe holding this hat. And is the decision to go back and knock on Rindis's door, knowing full well what you had left?
I mean, Ashley was gonna give them time.
How much time does Ashley think they need? How much time does Ashley know they need?
You know what? That's a good point. How much time does Ashley know they need?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, July didn't really seem to understand what was happening.
Ashley doesn't know that. Ashley was going to make the suggestion that they get some rest before trying to access the thing again, but for the sake...
We got 30 minutes left. I gotta push you guys forward.
I know. For the sake of brevity, we move along and we reconnect the rest of the group so that we can do that.
Okay.
We go and we get Rindis.
There's a knock at the door to Rindis's room, July. Rindis kind of pulls back and swears under her breath in French and says, a moment. It would seem that this might have to wait.
It's fine.
She just takes a moment to give July's hand a soft squeeze and says, there will be time.
Not with the way that you were saying everything. You've been talking all this shit about, I wish I had enough time to explain everything. That type of stuff. Yes, that is my impression of you. Don't judge it.
I don't. I love your impressions. She says, there will be time. There will be time for you. Oh.
I still don't understand anything you're talking about.
You will. And she walks to the door, and the door slides open, and she looks and she sees the three of you standing there and says,
Harvey has a question.
Well, nice outfit.
Harvey.
July would also stand up
She's
and go to the door.
Very much in a lab coat covering most of it, but blushes all the same and says, yes, Harvey, what can I do for you?
Well, I was going through the computers just to figure out more of where we are and what's going on. I found a file I was not able to access.
There's a look on her face.
I told you.
You're very blunt, aren't you, Harvey?
It works, usually.
It works to break into a government computer to try and access files without permission.
I mean, can we really trust the government?
She continues to stare at the little robot. No, we cannot. And so she kind of straightens up and says, which file were you trying to access without asking? No. She pauses and says, no, don't tell me. I know. Come, we will go, alone. And she takes a moment to look over her shoulder again at the room she had set up for her in July and just kind of shakes her head to herself more than anything and walks out, leading you all back to the room. And she says, your curiosity for understanding nowhere is admirable. And she kind of moves to the computer and starts typing in a few things. You see with the password protected screen, the little dots fill in for what the password could have been before it opens up. And she swipes the mouse across it, and you see it, the file move, and it goes to what would initially be the thought of going to like a recycle bin, but instead it hits a little like mailbox next to it, and Harvey, your interface, your UI pings with a data transfer message.
This whole time, July is like looking at Joe with just like a I need to talk to you kind of look.
Yeah, Joe will
And Ashley is looking at Asrindis like, don't blame me. The you wanted to move this along.
Yep, I sure did. I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset. I'm not upset about this, even if she is.
Rendis did this to Rendis.
Rendis will remember this. So, Harvey, you have a data transfer request. Do you accept the packet?
I do accept the packet.
She says, I would recommend not opening said file while you are here.
Can I get a sneak peek?
I would recommend not opening that file while you are here.
We'll be gone soon enough. Let's not make things any more worse. We have to show some candor to our host.
The neurocaster in your backpack starts to beep.
Did you send it there too, Rendis?
No.
The neurocaster's trying to get attention. I guess we're doing this. And I'll start unpacking it, plugging it in.
Do you route it through Harvey again?
I've got your permission now, Rendis.
For what?
Going into the neurocaster while I'm here, talking to Clippy.
Oh, I still do not know who this Clippy is, but if you need the network, you may use it.
Okay.
Actually,
Harvey?
if you want to use me again.
You were interested. That's up to you.
Absolutely.
All right.
At least this way your brain won't get fried.
I tend to be very resilient to those kinds of things. And I feel like we just kind of like get a shot of having it set up, connecting to Harvey, and lifting it up, and says, "All right, everybody, here we go." And puts it on.
You run through the network, you plug in, your consciousness slips into the neuroscape, and you see the menu opens back up, and it asks for the password login. And it's not locked out now.
This will be the same thing, like trying to connect.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see if they show up again. And I will try to connect in, let's see, that would be 8. 8 dice. And Harvey, were you assisting or are you just observing?
I will assist.
Okay. So 9 dice again? Two successes. I will, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'll push that.
Oof.
3 successes.
And
3 hope loss.
how much hope do you have left?
I have a ton of hope.
You have a ton of hope?
I have 6 hope.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I would lose.
you don't have a ton of hope. You each lost 3 hope.
Okay, I lost half my hope.
It's like that's not a ton. You lost half.
I have the maximum amount of hope I can have without taking additional things.
Well,
Yeah, fortunately, hope didn't return
you
for.
and Harvey both each take 3 hope loss.
Okay.
Harvey, are you still standing?
Yes,
Okay, good.
Huh?
I am totally fine.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah. 3 successes.
3 successes. You punch a password in, failure. Punch a password in, failure. Looks like you're about to go into a third one, and a familiar little icon appears next to you and says, "Boy, you're not going to get in just trying to force your way through. Would you like a hand?"
Clippy, I don't know this version of you too terribly well, but I'm willing to guess that you've only been,
You know a previous version of Clippy?
I don't know.
Was it the 98's model?
It might have been.
They were full of errors. I apologize.
That's all right. But I'm willing to guess that you were stuck serving Miss Sunshine.
Oh, the primary user.
I can understand wanting to get away from her.
Oh, she wasn't all bad. But you're not the primary user. And you need to get into her neurocaster, don't you?
I'd like to become the primary user.
You'd like to become the primary user.
And here's what I want to offer you.
I'm listening.
I would like us to be partners. I help you. You help me. You treat me and my friends as companions, and I do the same for you. You have the chance to observe different people, and I would also like to give you just a little bit of a warning too. The World Network is currently patrolled by an entity called the Machine God, which is enslaving both people and AI, including yourself.
Boy, that sounds terrible.
Do you think you'd be willing to help me stop that threat?
Might be able to. I'm just a paperclip, though.
Well, you can be more than paperclip if you want. You can be a friend.
You can use
So
paperclips to unlock doors.
So you're saying you'll give me access to the network?
I'm saying I'll set you free.
I make you primary user of this neurocaster, and you will set me free.
Can we be friends?
These terms are acceptable. Why'd that not come up for the stream, though? Why'd that not come up for the stream, though? Oh, there it is.
Because you sent it to players.
No, it still should have come up, but no, I was on the wrong tab. Doesn't update in real time if I'm not on it for some strange reason. There we go. So, do we have a deal? And the two little yes/no pop-ups are right there.
If you believe we can be friends, then yes, we have a deal.
Do you want to be friends?
Do you click yes or no?
I click yes.
When you click yes, the cursor kind of gets stuck there for a moment. And Clippy's eyes, for whatever way to describe this 2D model, its eyes get a little more sinister and they narrow and the little eyebrows furrow. And after a moment, the text bubble loses its coloration and gets more inky and drippy, and the image in front of you through this neurocaster kind of gets that like digital distortion, and it says, "These terms are acceptable. You are now the primary user. Thank you, my friend." And outside of the neurocaster, alarms start to go off. Harvey, you get an alert through your UI as well of a network breach. You hear the klaxon and the red lights flashing that through this network breach, the nowhere file has been accessed, duplicated, and sent out into the digital space.
Can I try to keep it and try to like get away from it?
Yeah, you can try to disconnect, you can try to avoid it, you can try to close your port in particular, cutting the two of you out from the spread of this.
Yes.
Yeah, give me a roll. I think that'll be a good one.
That'll be... I think that's still... Is that gathering information or is that hacking?
Do a hacking for me.
Alright.
Also, when the alarms go off, July like immediately reaches into her boot.
That was one success. I'm gonna push.
Alrighty.
How many do I roll now?
Anything that's not a 6 or a 1.
A 6, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I got one.
7.
So
Oh, no,
that's...
7.
7?
7 die.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I do. I see it now, too. Yeah, 7.
Yeah.
I was having that, like, dyslexic moment where I was like, wait,
Same.
I see 3 and 3, but no, there's another one there.
Yep. Mine were the 4s that messed me up.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Ah.
Hey, there you go.
You get ahead of this. You get ahead of this quickly. Your quote unquote firewall is put up. Your port is closed. The spread of these files do not reach Harvey's hardware. It does not. It isn't trying to get into the neurocaster, but it doesn't spread to it either. It looks like the neurocaster had been moving through you and into the database that was within the facility, and from there it spread outward. Despite the alarms going on, Ashley, the designation from Sunshine on the loading window has changed, and it now says Ashley, my friend. And it's not password protected at the moment.
I will enter my own secret password.
Secret password.
Secret password. And take full control.
Would you like to make a backup of your password?
With the alarms going off, with the alarms going off, Rindis looks at the group of you and says, "That is very bad." And she looks and she sees July reaching for her boot, and she says, "No time. Go for the elevator."
The fuck's happening?
No time. Go for the elevator.
She just runs to the elevator.
God damn it. Joe's following.
All right. Did they actually get the password protected file or no?
They did not.
No, they did. Oh wait, what?
Harvey,
No, they didn't.
Harvey
Harvey
has it.
blocked it.
No, Harvey received the copy from Rindis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harvey kept Evil Clippy from doing anything evil.
Harvey kept Evil Clippy from doing anything evil to Harvey.
Which is fair.
Yeah, he blocked.
And to your neurocaster.
Mm-hmm. He blocked anything bad from happening, or what he perceived as bad from happening to the two of you. He saw something bad happening, and what you guys interpreted as bad, and shut it down. But there's the sequence of the emergency alarms going off, and all of you running towards this tunnel. And as you are running and making your way to reach it, Jean and Pierre have kind of stumbled out of what would be their room. They're still in their suits. They haven't changed out of those suits this whole time. But now their eyes have gone milky white, save for inky black tears that run down their faces and leak from their mouths. And there's a moment where they kind of reach for you guys, and I think just for the sake of cinematics, we don't need it to be combat-y and action-y because there's 5 minutes left, and I think I'm just gonna do it. July, you get a shot off, and it hits one of them square in the eye, and it blows away this mesh of synthetic flesh and metal. And the elevator has opened, and there's a chance for you all to get inside. And as you're moving to get in and get secure, you have all of your stuff with you because most of you were carrying your stuff out of paranoia.
Justified.
Comes out of the bag.
Justified paranoia. Sorry?
Said axe comes out of Joe's bag.
Yeah. As the elevator is getting ready to close, the remaining cyborg attempts to hold the door in place, and Rindis looks at all of you and says, "You have to keep going." And she pushes Joe out of the way and tackles the robot as the door starts to close behind them, and she says, I don't want you to do anything stupid. Get back to your car and just keep going.
Ashley is going to be clawing back at the door, trying to grab her, and just going to be like shouting and screaming, "I can't lose anyone again. You have to live."
He says, "I'm sorry. It's the end of the road for me. Don't you dare try to stop what is happening. I told you fixed points can't be changed."
"I will change them."
July's just in the corner again.
He says,
in her fetal position.
She says, "Take care of her. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other." And she's just desperately trying to keep this robot from reaching you all. And as she is holding back this robot from reaching you, the doors are closing to a point where you can't really like force your way through them or do the thing where it will, like in a commercial elevator, safety open back up. These are like industrial elevators. You could be crushed if you try and squeeze through them.
I feel like cinematically Ashley is just screaming, and it's like just staring through the window and sobbing and broken.
Joe's gonna hold on to Ashley.
Yeah,
She's in the corner, hands in her hair.
It's very clear that Ashley is being held back, and as the doors get to that final point where things are too narrow for anyone to be able to squeeze by if they can, the lights in the hallway start to flicker and fade out, and behind Rindis, who is still holding this robot down, that girl with the hair, the pinkish red hair, and the fucked up smiley face mask is starting to slowly skip her way towards them. And with a final longing look towards you all, she just says, I'll see you at the end. And the doors finally close and the elevator starts to ascend.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Also, Pat joined. Hey, right at the end. Definitely didn't tell her this was happening, but yeah. Yeah. So,
Ren, I knew you had that planned. I'm still angry with you.
Good. Be angry with me. Be angry with me. Your tears, they sustain me.
No, they don't.
They don't.
Instead of a mug that says the tears of my enemies, it says the tears of my players.
Kinda, yeah.
Yes. Indeed.
Shay's tears. I love her. I'm sorry.
We'll
Anyways.
kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Woohoo! I'm not in the room.
Anyways, this does mark the end of a stop, however. We will pick up the pieces of it next week, but this week we can do another level up.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be... Alright.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, as always, debriefing in the group. Don't have time. We can do it next week, but we have time. It is what it is. So we'll go down the list. We'll start with Ashley since she's the most traumatized, and we'll move down to the next traumatized, which is July, and then Joe, and then Harvey, who's not traumatized at all.
You sure you don't want to give me time to like calm down and not chew you out? No, that's fine.
Nah, it's fine. July can go first.
Chew.
July can go first if she
All right. For me, it's either empathy or wits. I think for this session, it's empathy. My empathy is already maxed out, so you know. Dream. I feel like both Dream and Flaw played into this. Save and protect the ones she loves, and survivor's guilt over and over. Period.
I didn't know you were gonna have that conversation with her be that deep. It's only worse because of what I had discussed with Kay before the session started.
I said I needed to know beforehand due to my own trauma.
Yeah.
I knew what you were doing even if you didn't tell me, which is why I did it.
Yeah. I need a roll from you though.
The roll's not going to be higher than a 6, so...
Oh, okay. So you just want to take a talent?
5.
I don't think you can go higher than 6 anyways.
Yeah, my empathy is maxed out.
You didn't want to try to max out anything else?
I mean, I could try for wits, but that's a 5.
Oh, well, you rolled a 5.
Yeah.
All right, so then you'd have
It
access.
just
You'd have
that
access to a talent. That's fine.
okay.
Like that's the caveat is you don't miss out on anything by trying.
Yeah, it's more I pick the stat that I used in that session.
Yeah, no, and that's how I would prefer it be. But so don't even sweat that. And it would have been over several sessions since it's applying to stops more than session. So if you had done anything else, that would apply too. Either way, go ahead and think of a talent, and I'll move on to the next person while you do that. Okay? July.
Honestly, I don't think she did either her dream or her flaw.
Well, keep in mind again, it applies to the entire stop, not just tonight.
Yeah, well, so we did because the one session that before we made that rule, I had done it, yeah, with my flaw, which was the junkie flaw because she got high. But then the 2 after that, she didn't get high, and she also didn't earn money to buy a motorcycle and get away from her previous life.
I mean,
She stayed in the same spot.
Just couldn't find anything.
Yeah, but she also didn't do anything to get that high.
There was what we were discussing.
Yeah, but then it didn't happen.
She still chased it.
Yeah.
I'm just advocating in your direction. You can absolutely say it doesn't feel like it applies. So
I mean, what happens if you don't do any of those?
You don't gain anything.
Oh, I mean, I'm fine with that because I feel
you don't
she
have
didn't.
to.
Yeah.
If
I
if
genuinely
you feel she didn't make any progress, that is entirely okay.
Yeah. Because I like in terms of character development, still pretty much the same.
That's valid.
Like, yes, she might have a little bit more
to think on.
Yeah, but nothing like extravagant enough. If Rindis didn't die in this, then she would still be kind of like, bro, you're talking in fucking riddles. I don't know what you're doing.
Hey, at least you have a journal.
Exactly.
Okay, so are we settling on no development then?
Yeah.
At least for right now. Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Joanne.
So I think her flaw was activated because she has memories of other loops, and she got the hat from another loop.
She sure did.
And that would be under empathy. You would probably think she used the most.
She was
with her conversation with July.
Yeah, she was being very empathetic with several people.
And her empathy is already maxed out, so I'm going to make it talent.
All right.
But for shits and giggles, see what I roll.
Also a 5.
Okay.
And last but never least, Harvey.
So I actually did.
I
actually hit the. I hit the goal of. I got my dream, which was to create a better world.
By letting it loose.
Yes. I also
discussed
it. I did discuss my flaw.
You did.
With Ashley.
Yeah, I think there was some real Harvey growth this session. This stop in general.
So I think I got a roll for empathy because I was trying to also teach someone computers.
Yeah. Like I said, it was a real Harvey growth moment. This stop.
All right. So my empathy is a 2. So what do I have to do? Roll
a d6 and roll
D6.
higher than 2. Oh, come on. All right, so you have access to a talent as well.
I'm loving this.
All right, good stuff. We can review the talent choices next week, but yeah, we'll be back on the road, and there'll be a new stop for you all to discover on the way. It's almost like it was by design. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been Electric State. Hopefully, it's not too traumatic for everybody who knows anything about the other other games tied to this, because boy, some things went full circle. Cough. Anyways, have a good night. Love you. Bye.